That is Srimad Bhagavata Saptasatyam Chaturthodhyayaha. So we have been introduced to so many Akhyanas, Upakhyanas, and dialogues from all spiritual masters. Although they have different experiences, but still they all focus upon extolling Sri Lord Krishna or Bhagavan, so that whoever follows them, they all will be Bhagavatas. Those who are devoted to Bhagavan, the derivative designation to those people could be Bhagavatas. That is, they always represent the glory of the God in one form or the other. Now let us go with that. 199 sloka. Atra chodaharam timam.
1 minute, sir.
Itihasam puratanam.
Itihasam puratanam. Itihasam puratanam.
Bhutanam Vishnu Yamayo Samvadam tu.
Dotanam Vishnu Yamayoho Sambadam tu tam
Nibodhame
Nibodame
Bhunjanaha Prabiban Khadan.
Bhunjana Prapiban Khadan Bhunjanaha Prapiban Khadan
Balakam Snehayantritaha.
Balakam Snehayantritaha Balakam Snehayantritaha
Bhojayan Payayan Mudho.
Bhojayan Payayan Mudho Bhojayan Payayan Mudho
Navedagatamantakam.
Navedagatamantakam Navedagatamantakam
Napashahastan Trin Društva.
Napashahastam Strin Drashtva Napashahastam Strin Drashtva
Purushanati darunan.
Purushanati darunan Purushanati darunan
Vakratundan urdhvaromnaha.
Vakratundan durva romna అది ఎట్లా బ్రేక్ చేస్తుంది
Romnaha.
ద్రోమ్నః
Atmanam netumagatan.
ఆత్మానం నేతుమాగతాన్
So here under, I am going to narrate to you the story, Itihasam, the story, Arakhyam, which is Puratanam, which is very much ancient. It's long time onwards. This particular story is popular. And what is that Akhyanam? Dutanam Vishnu Yamayo Samvadam Nibodhame. So Vishnu Duta and Dutas of Vishnu, the envoys of Vishnu or Bhattas of Vishnu and Yamas, they both indulge in a conversation, in a dialogue. And Nibodha is understand, is to mean that to try to remember the dialogue, and it will be useful for everybody as a part of guidance. So Nibodha may. So you please understand that. So in next sloka, it says 200, Bhunjanaha pravipan khadan balakam snehayantritaha bhojayan payan mudha naveda agatamantakam. See, all people in the world are so busy in rearing their children, in looking after their samsara, making the children to eat, to drink, to enjoy, and all these things they attend to the babies or children all through their life, because there is a sneha yantra. If that yantra, the mechanical actions or works are happening automatically. Why? Because sneha, prema, preeti, abhimana, all these things are called sneha. Actually, the word sneha means oil. So oil or mysticky, and unless oil is there, the wick will not burn. And not only the wick burns, but also it burns the entire oil. So the source of fire, of flame, also is being consumed, and they do not know, the oil does not know that it is also getting exhausted, although it is supplying food for the wicks to be live. So, agatam antakam, antakam is the ending or the yama. Na Veda, no, they do not know. And so this is what exactly would happen to all people. Whenever they beget children, they are totally interested in the prosperity of the children, making them eat, drink, and all that, now up to their end of life. Even though children are good, big, and all that, but still sneha will be there upon them. And in the next verse, sa pasahastan triin društva purushaha atidarunan vakratundan urdhvaromnaha atmanam netum agatan. See, although the Yamabhatas, who would be the Yamabhatas? The Yamabhatas would be having their nooses in the hands. Pashahastaha. And three of them will come. Okay, how many bhattas come? There is no big band of bhattas that come to our yard. Only three people will be coming to us. That's what information Bhagavata comes to us, tells us that there are three bhattas who come to take away the life. Why three bhattas? Probably explanations may be there elsewhere in commentaries and in the original text. So three bhattas will come with a pasha in their hand, and they look very costly. Ati darunan purushan. So they are daruna. Daruna means not at all compassionate or kind. They are highly ghastly, with no good heart at all. Their heart is simplest. If Shakespeare were to say, stubborn heart, sterner stuff. So that kind of heart, darunatvam. And moreover, vakratunda, they have their tunda, their noses little curved. Then urdhvaromnaha, they have hair grown upwards that stand perpendicular probably. And that kind of purushas, yamabhatas, were to come stand before you close by. But and that too they have come away to take away your prana. Netum agatan. They have come to take you away. No more you can live in the body. You are being drawn away by those yamabhatal. And in the 2202, చెప్పండి దూరే క్రీడనకా సక్తం పుత్రం
दूरे क्रीडनकासक्तं पुत्रं दूरे क्रीडनकासक्तं पुत्रं
నారాయణాహ్వయం
नारायणाह्वयं नारायणाह्वयं
ప్లావితేన స్వరేణోచ్చైః
कावितेन
స్వరేణోచ్చైః
प्लावितेन स्वरेणोच्चैः
ఆజుహావ ఆకులేంద్రియః
आजुहावाकुलेन्द्रियः
విషమ్య మ్రియమాణస్య
निशम्य म्रियमाणस्य
मुखतो हरिकीर्तनम्
मुखतो हरिकीर्तनम्
भर्तुः नाम महाराजा
भर्तुः नाम महाराजा भर्तुः नाम महाराजा
पार्षदा सहसा पतन्
पार्षदा सहसा पतन्
विकर्षतोऽन्तर्हृदयात्
विकर्षतोऽन्तरहृदयात् विकर्षतोऽन्तयर् नहीं sorry
हृदयात् दासीपतिमजामिलम्
दासीपतिमजामिलम्
यमदूतान् विष्णुदूता
यमदूतान् विष्णुदूता
वारयामासु रोजसः
वारयामासु रोजसा
So look at the beautiful instant here. He was about to die, and he so there was his boy, small boy, far off, playing in the ground, and the name of the boy was Narayana. Narayana Kvayam Putram, the boy, the son by name Narayana, and Plavitena Swarena means in a high voice, not simply small voice or low tone, in a high tone. That's what's called Plavana. Actually, Plavana means flying. So the voice could reach a longer distance. Therefore, Plavatena Swarena, Uchchaihi, high sound, loudly. He Ajuhava invited, called him. Why, how Akulendriya, all his Indriyas were in trouble, were in pain or when in worry. So with that worried, Akula, anxious tone, he called his boy by name Narayana. But Nisa, hearing that kind of voice, at that time, the Harikirtanam was there, Mukhataha Harikirtanam. So there was a great Kirtana, or taking the name of Narayana in the face, and also the Vishnu Bhattas observed he is on the verge of death, Priyamanasya. They heard his Harikirtanam, and He Maharaja, He Parikshit Maharaj, because those Vishnu Bhattas, they are having a lot of regard for their master. So Nama Bhartuhu Nisamya, when their own Lord's name is being repeatedly in high tone at the end time being repeated, what happened? The Parshadaha, Yamasena, Vishnu Bhattas, all of them who were there going in the sky, they suddenly stopped their vehicle, and Sahasa Patan, they suddenly landed just near the Ajamila, who was about to be taken off by the Yamabhatas. Then, who is this Ajamila? He is a Dasi Pati. Dasi is the concubine or loose woman. So he is not a regular Pativrata Pati, but he has taken to wrong ways, and so that's why he called Ajamilam Dasi Patim. Dasi Pati is servant's lord. Therefore, and Vikarshataha Antarhrudayatu Yamadutan Asu Ojasa Varayan. So what are the Yamadutas doing? They have already reached, and they were trying to pull away the Pancha Pranas. Actually, to take away Pancha Pranas take long time, at least 124 hours. So that's why here you have got the word as Yamadutan Vikarshataha. The word Vikarshana, we must emphasize that's a verb, or not verb. So Vikarshati means Viseshena Karshati. Ordinarily, it is not possible to draw out the pranas even for the Yamabhatas. That's what he wants. That's what our Vyasa Bhagavan wants to impress upon us, rather Sukha Maharshi, that our pranas are so tight inside that it is very hard to get them to get out also. Something like every part inside the body is very well tied with the nerves and very tight also. So it requires a greater effort for surgeon to interfere or intercept or go inside. So yeah, in that case, so vikarshana is the one thing. So prana vikarshana, that is when our lives are so deeply rooted in us that it is hard even for the Yamabhatas to take away. What to speak of the human beings who want to get rid of their life, they cannot get rid of their life easily. So Vishnu Duta Varayamasu. And so then Vishnu Dutas have tried to prevent them taking away. And in another point you should know, Ojasa Vikarshataha, that is what we have to know. Oja means strong, exerting more strength. Normally, that's why Ojasa Vikarshataha Yamadutan and Hantar Hudayat. So they are deep inside the body of Ajamila, and they were trying to exercise a lot of strength to pull out the life of that Ajamila at that tincture. And suddenly, Vishnu Dutas, having heard the name of Narayana, remembered loudly through the mouth, Mukhataha, not listening to the tape record. So you have to yourself utter the mantra. That's exactly what our Paramacharya, Kanchi Paramacharya, Chandrasekhar Swamiji was telling, that Nama Ucharana, you should, as far as possible, do it by yourself from your mouth. Not hearing. Hearing is secondary. But if you do it Namocharana, then it will be very much powerful. So Ramasmarana Anyopayam Nahi Pasyamo Bhavatarane Rama Hare Krishna Hare Tava Nama Vadami Sadanru Hare is the Avatara Stotram, that all the 10 avatars are there, but we have got the Ramasmarana is important. That smarana, that smruti must come out through your mouth. Therefore, he says that vikarshataha ojasa yamadutan varayamasuhu. And now there is a dialogue between them. Look, immediately when they are intercepted or obstructed by Vishnudutas, then Yamadutas will start talking. Please repeat, Yamaduta uchuhu.
Yamaduta uchuhu, Yamaduta uchuhu.
Veda pranihito dharmaha.
Veda pranihito dharmaha, Veda pranihito dharmaha.
Adharmaha tadviparyayaha.
Adharmaha tadviparyayaha, Adharmaha tadviparyayaha.
Vedo narayana sakshato.
Vedo narayana sakshat, Vedo narayana sakshat.
Swayambhuriti cha strutihi.
Swayambhuriti cha strutihi, Swayambhuriti cha strutihi.
Panchabhi kurute swarthan.
Panchabhihi kurute swarthan, Panchabhihi kurute swarthan.
Panchavedadha panchabhihi.
Panchavedatha panchabhihi, Panchavedatha panchabhihi.
Ekastu shodasena.
Ekastu shodashena, Ekastu shodashena.
Trin swayam saptadashosnute.
Trin swayam saptadashoshnute, Trin swayam saptadashoshnute.
So this is a beautiful summarizing earth slokas, because in Bhagavatam original, the Ajamila episode is long drawn one, more and more details, Vedantic thoughts and discussion also is there. But in the selection here, our Acharya has selected the important two slokas to refer to the talk. Say, Dharma Veda Pranayitaha. See, Dharma or Achara Prathamo Dharma, Dharmasya Prabhurachyutaha. That's what we understand from Mahabharata only, that Achara is Dharma. Achara Prathamo Dharma. And the overlord of that Dharma is Vishnu. And what is Achara? Acharati. That is the tradition, the spirituality or yoga that has been practiced since a very long time. We cannot attest any date for the yoga or Veda or all these things, because we just simply say that it is Sanatanam. Sanatanam is the word in Sanskrit. Our Hinduism, all this later on. But basically what you say is Sanatana Dharma. Ours is a very ancient, dating is impossible. And what moreover that, this dharma has been pranihitam. Pranihitam means deeply deposited, deeply rooted in Vedas, in knowledge. Veda also means knowledge. So what is the type of knowledge that we have been handed over by our ancient rishis and all? Because, and whatever they have given us is deep rooted, in the sense that it is not ordinarily possible to understand the dharma gati. Dharmaha gahanaha. Dharma gati. Therefore, he used the word pranihitaha. Praseshena nihitaha. Pranihitaha. Nihatiha means deposited, kept in, but pra refers to deep down. So deep, when it is a deep down, it is hard for us to easily understand. You should require Guru Buddhi in a number of aspects in order to explore the reality of the Dharma. And Adharmaha tad viparyaha. So what is not Dharma? Viparyaya means not, negative. What is not negative, what is not Dharma, that is the Viparyaya. Viparyaya means it is something opposite. So that's why in Krishna Bhagavad Gita tells us, Dharmaha adharma kim dharmaha kim adharmaha iti munayohi mumuhu. It is hard for anybody to decide this is dharma, that is adharma. For example, there is, when that small boy went for alms to a house, that lady delayed to give him alms, bhiksha. Then the boy became very angry and looked at her with anger. Then she told, no, I was doing my duty of serving food for my husband. And so delay happened, so you have no right to become angry upon me. Then the boy understood, yes, then that duty is you are doing. And then she told, after all, is a boy, is a student, Vedic student or Purana student. No, you don't know, still you have got to know about dharmas. She directs him to that dharma vyadha, and go and get some teachings on dharma from Dharma Vyadha. We get that episode also in Bhagavatam. And that boy, thinking that particular Dharma Vyadha will be a Maharishi with beard and all kashaya vastras and all that, with that hope and expectation, he went. But when he inquired, when he saw him, he was a butcher. And so it was a surprising thing. But he taught Dharma Vyadha taught him. So we don't know. That's why what Dharma we have got, then we have to do it, irrespective of that. So Viparyaha, Adharmaha. And also in all these Vedas and Dharma, what we have got to understand, Narayanaha Sakshat Swayambhu Veda. You have to know that Narayana, who is Swayambhu, self-born. There is no parent for the Narayana. So Saksha Swayambhu And Narayana is that, and he is Veda. Narayana is the embodiment of scriptures. And now that Yamadutas also quote scripture. So it is Shruti. Shruti is the Vedas. So not that Rakshasas are also good Vedic scholars. You know, Ravana used to leave his palace anywhere outside. When Veda Ghosha was on, as the Veda Ghosha was on, Ravana used to move out from his palace. That is to say that whether one is a Rakshasa or otherwise, Veda is a common thing of great value. You have to value Veda. So Shruti, that is heard. Vedas or Shruti are heard. They are revealed texts, but they are not written by anybody. So there is no human authorship ascribed to Vedas. They're all revealed texts. So that's why what is revealed to them is always a standardized subject matter. And who revealed to whom is an interesting question. The respective gods, they themselves have revealed the knowledge about them to the Upasaka. For example, if there is Agni Sukta or Narayana Sukta or Indra Sukta, etc., those deities themselves have revealed connected mantras to them. That's what is the belief going. Therefore, Vedopa Brahmanam, trying to understand the extensive literature of the Veda is possible only through the divine grace. And now that Yama Bhattas will tell you that why people commit a lot of sins upon the land. భూలోకంలో బతికున్నప్పుడు చక్కగా మంచి మంచి పాపాలు చేస్తారు. What is the source through which they are able to acquire panchabihi swarthan, panchabihi panchaveda swarthan papam kurute. So the gnanendriyas, karmendriyas, when they are there, people don't appropriately discipline them. They try to go by the attraction that the respective indriyas draw out. Therefore, and all that is swarthan, quite selfish. Paropakaram is important. Paropakaram punyaya papaya parapedanam. So there is a slokam Kalidasa is supposed to have told. People say that eka shlokarthena pravachyami eduktam grantha kotibhihi paropakaram punyaya papaya parapedanam. You all know that. So koti granthagal put together, what are all the texts are telling? That paropakara is punyam and the other one is called papam. So panchabihi means with our panchendriyas, gnanendriyas, karmendriyas, we are also given indriyas. So that's how we are doing a lot of commitments and sins, whereafter the Yamabhatas will have big work. You know, all people are dying because of COVID. Imagine the work, the extensive load of work in the Yamaloka to give them accommodation, because there also problem of a shortage of accommodation, we should imagine, as we see the scriptures. But therefore, this is the problem. Then please repeat, Sri Sukha Uvacha.
Shri Sukha Uvacha. Shri Sukha Uvacha.
Ete naiva hi aghono.
Ete naiva hi aghono. Ete naiva hi aghono.
Anya krutam syatu.
Anyam kritam syat. Anya kritam syat.
Aghanishkrutam.
Aginishkrutam.
Aghanishkrutam.
Aghanishkrutam.
Yada Narayana-yeti jagata.
Yada Narayana-iti jagata. Yada Narayaneti Jagada
Chaturaksharam
Chaturaksharam
Tena Surapo Mitraha
Stena Surapo Mitraha Stena Surapo Mitraha
Brahmaha Gurutalpagaha
Agra
Mitra Drug Brahmaha
Mitra Duk Brahmaha
Gurutalpagaha
Gurutalpagaha
Sri Raja Pitruhantaro
Sri Raja Pitru Gohantaye Sri Raja Pitru Gohantaye
Pathakino Pare
Padakino Pare
Sarveshamapyagavatam
Sarveshamapyagata
Bhagavatam
Agavatam Sarveshamapyagavatam
Idameva Sunishkrutam
Idameva Shru Nishkrutam
Nama Vyaharanam Vishno
Nama Vyaharanam Vishnu
Tad Vishayamatihi
Yat
Tat Vishayamatihi
Yat
Vishayamatihi.
Dayamatihi.
So now Sukha Maharshi adds in 207 sloka that Etena hi agha anyakrutam syad aghanishkrutam yada narayana yeti jagada chaduraksharam. You see, agha is an important style of the sins. You know, there are so many words in Sanskrit to indicate the kind of sin that is there, but in English, they have only one word, sin. But in Sanskrita, we have several words. Each word indicate a specific kind of sin or folly or dosha or aparadha that somebody commits it. So, yetena eva agha anyakrutam syad aghanishkrutam yada narayana-yeti jagata chaduraksharam. Narayana, 4 letters. When this 4-lettered word, when he uttered, whatever sin that has been acquired by himself and also by the others connected to him and affecting his prosperity, all that will be dropped down. And what are the kinds of, and also not only, how many kinds of sinners are there? Many kinds of sinners are there, but a few of them is stenaha, that is a thief. Even among thieves, there are so many kinds of thieves are there that you can find enlisting in a Rudram. And Rudra is a person who punishes all of them at the same time, in whom you are there and who take care of. That's why stenaha, that is a thief, a robber, a plunderer. All these fellows and who steal the others' thing. What people love that, the stena will take that away, make them more unhappy. And surapaha means who is a drunkard, who drinks the surapanam. Pa is panam. So that fellow who drinks more and more, sura, and unfortunate drunk, and mitra druku, that is who deprives the friend, who betrays the friend. So if a friend is there, normally one should not betray each other. So this particular point is well illustrated in our scriptures. For example, in Ramayana, Rama and Sugriva became friends, but each one is taking immense care that they should not harm or they should not hurt anybody with their friends. Therefore, if Mitra but to become angry, it is a problem to another mitra. So kupitam mitram drishtva bhayam yati. So if supposing a close friend, but to become angry, we are not comfortable. Bhayam yati, we become afraid. That is the kind of sweet relationship that our Indians subsisted since a very long time. But unfortunately, I mean, how would be the sweetness of relationship? Ramayana is the best representative, where even though they are Rakshasas, but they have lot of relations and affections to them. That's why, for example, a mitra druk, you should never harm, betray a friend. When even among the brothers, Lakshmana, when he was swooning, he said, Rama was so much worried and in grief. He says, Dese kalatrani, Dese cha bandhavaha, tam tu desam napasyami, yatra bhrata sahodaraha. See, I can find friends and relations and all that. Dese, in everywhere, every place you go there, you can make friends. Kalatrani, and you may also acquire friendship with other people. And I do not find a Desham again where I can find my brother, another brother. So that is the kind of affection that brothers. So there should be that kind, one should not. So when Lakshmana died, Rama was so much hurt. He says, Lakshmana prano bahischaraha. So he has got his antah prana, but the Vahischara prana was Lakshmana and other brothers. So then again, Brahmaha, who kill Brahmins, and Guru Talpagaha, who sleeps with the Guru relations badly. Then Strihantaraha, killers of the ladies, Rajahantaraha, the killers of the royal murderers of the kings, and Pitruhantaraha, the trouble giving to the parents, mother and father, and grandfather and grandma, and so on. So these are all coming under the list of Patakinaha. They are all coming under the list of sinners. Aparecha, in all those people who do that kind of atrocity and harm to the people. But the conclusion is that Sarvesham api agamatam idameva suniskritam. This is well resolved. The following one is well resolved, referring to all sorts of sinners. Whatever be the sin that they have done, Sarvesham api agamatam. Agavatam means sinners. For all the sinners, irrespective of the kind of sin that they have done, this is established that Nama Vyaharanam Vishnoho. If you just take the name of Narayana, Vishnu, then that particular sin will be getting out, and he will be relieved from all sins, and he will be given the Nishkriti or Moksha. Na nishkrutaihi uditair brahmavadibihi.
Na nishkrutair ruditair brahma vadibhi
Tatha visuddhyati aghavan vratadibihi.
tata sorry sir, was a repeat.
Tatha visuddhyati
Tatha vishuddhati
aghavan vratadibihi.
Agavan Vratadibhihi
Yatha harer nama padaihi.
Yata Harer Nama Padair
Udahrutaihi.
Udahrutaihi
Taduttama sloka gunanulambanam. Taduttama sloka
Taduttama Shloka
Gunanulambakam.
Gunanulambakam
Sanketyam parihasyam va. Parihasyam.
Sanketyam Parihasyam Sanketyam Parihasyam
Vastobham Hedanameva va.
Vastobham Helanameva va Vastobham Helanameva va
Vaikuntha Namagrahanam.
Vaikuntha Namagrahanam Grahanam
Yeah, Vaikuntha Namagrahanam.
Vaikuntha Namagrahanam
Aseshagaram Viduho.
Asheshagaram Viduho Asheshagaram Viduho
Yathagadam Viryatamam.
Yathagadam Virya
Tamam
Viryatamam
Upayuktam Yadruchaya.
Upayuktam Yadruchaya
Janatopi Atmagunam Kuryatu.
Ajanatopi Atmagunam Kuryat
Mantropyudahruta.
Mantro Udahrutah
So now we must understand Bhagavatam is a problem and solution composite personality because it is called Hamsa Samhita. So there are so many easier ways through which we are able to get relief. That's why, see, in the 210 sloka, he said, Vratadhipihi Visuddhyati Agavan. So by doing Vrata, Satyanarayana Vratam, Gauri Vratam, Vinayaka Vratam, oh God, number of Vratas are there, VOWs are there. By adopting to that form of approach, what would happen? Aghavan Visuddhyati. Aghavan means a sinner. And opposite of Aghavan is Maghavan, a Punyavan. See, Maghavan is Indra, and Aghavan is those who are sinners, Rakshasas or otherwise. And na nishkrutaihi uditaihi brahmavadibihi tatha visuddhyati. So the Brahmavadins means the Vedanta Jnana Nishtaha or Yatayaha, Suddha Sattvaha, Rushayaha. All these people are called Brahmavadins. They always talk in favor of Brahma. They always impart Brahma Gnana to all of them. Of course, we have always Gnanam, but what the Gnanam we are ultimately to be familiar is knowledge about Brahma, the great God. So Brahma Gnanam, that's why we have got Brahma Yagnam, Brahma Gnanam. And worshipping Brahma, we get the Brahma Gnanam. The Upakarma is speaking to all Brahmins, Kshatriyas and others. They have got to change their Yajnopavita. And Yajnopavitam is having expiry date, only 1 year, it is valid. After 1 year, Shravana Suddha Purnima, this way, that way, all have got to change their new Yajnopavita. So, that is again, Yajnopavita there. On that day, we have to recite the Brahma Yajnam, which talks about Brahma, the entire Vedic literature in a sampling manner. So, Brahmavadibihi and Uditaihi, they have been established. And so, when you take to Vratas, you are freed from the sins and you become, when once the Aghavan are dropped, you become Maghavan. You become happy with the Punyam. And what is the easy solution? Namapadaihi harehe udahutaihi. So, Namapada, pada is the word or letter, Nama is the name. So, in everywhere, Nama Sankirtanam, Nama Parayanam, etc. So, in Lalita Sahasranamam, Nama Parayana Prita, Nandi Vidya Nateswari. So, she is called Nateswari, Nada, and also Natya Vidya and Sha. So you see that Natana is a matter of happiness. Unless one is happy, nobody would dance. That dance is an extra language and communication of noble thoughts. So that's why think of the Bharatanatyam or so many classical dances are there. They're all the language has to communicate the scriptural knowledge also. So I think on 22nd, you have got a beautiful talk that Devi Lalita is a dancer, and the concepts of dance are Natya found in Saundar Lahari with comparison to Bharatanatyam Shastra. That is a talk going on. So you can imagine that Natya or Natana, etc., are important cultural aspects which will make us also relieved from the sin. You know, every Nati, she will just make a Bhuvandanam before she starts a program on the stage. So like that, here also, a Maghavan, in Aghavan becomes a Maghavan by taking the name of the 4 letters of Narayana, and not only 4 letters, Gunanulambanam taduttama slokam udahrutaihi padaihi. Not only the name of the Narayana, but also anything connected, any story or any information or any description connected to Narayana. If you do it, then what happens? Sanketyam, parihasyam, vastobham, hedanameva va, vaikuntanama grahanam, aseshagaram vidu. So Sanketa Purara, Sanketyam, Sanketa Purarajar, for Rama you said, and Parihasyam. These are all the measures by which you are able to get rid of the sin, and ultimately Vaikuntha Nama Grahanam. If you just utter the word Vaikuntha, because what does Narayana Smriti give us? Narayana Yojana Madi, Japa Madire, and Gen Bharate, what are we getting from Narayana Smriti? Vaikuntham. That is a placement, job. There you don't have anyone further to worry. It is something like a government job. Some people love so much government job. If they get government job, irrespective of their qualification and their awards, gold medal and all that, they just accept the government job. Some people are fond of it because there is a security in that. So gold MSc physics gold medalist will accept a bank job and so on. So like that, Asesha Hakaharam Viduhu Vaikuntha Nama Grahana. So Vaikuntha Vasi Narayana, and whether you remember the Vaikuntha, which is called Vaikuntha because Vina Kuntham. Vina Kuntham is a break. Vina break Kuntham. See, upon the earth, we have got all small, bigger sites, 30, 40, 15, 20, and then 40, 60. That is, this is all not, Pulokam is not like that. It's a Kunta. But you should see homogeneity in all things. So that's what we call Vaikuntha. So in that Vaikuntha, Narayana, dweller, and if you remember the Vaikuntha and the dwelling and the dweller Narayana, then it will be making even heaps of sin just removed. And Yathagatam Viryatamam Upayuktam Idruchaya Ajanataha Api Atmagunam Kuryan Mantroti Udahrutaha. Look at the extensive Phalasruti or advantage that has been pointed out to us through Bhagavatam. That's why these people say that you should read Ramayana and Bhagavatam as Parayana texts every day. So every day you should read Bhagavatam. One sloka or half sloka or like that, and Ramayana. But Mahabharata is a different matter. It has not got the sanctity of Parayanam, but it is sanctity of academic study or pursuits. So here, Sarvadharmaha Dasya Pati Agarha Karma Nipati Niraye Vrata Sadyo Vimukto Bhagavan Nama Vrundan. So whatever Nama taken, they become a Nirvrutta. So the sin does not matter. All sins are cancelled or vetoed because of the Namataka. Now 213. Nata param
I have
karma
one
niban.
question. Sir, I have one question. What is the meaning of Sanketyam?
Pardon?
Sanketyam,
Sanketyam means symbolic.
symbolic.
And other one, Sanketa Puranivasi is Rama, Ayodhya.
Okay.
And Ayodhya is taken to be the residence of all gods. Devanam Nagari Ayodhya. Said, Yodha is to fight and war and quarrel and all troubles. Ayodhya means where there is a peace and dexterity and prosperity and happiness.
And what is Parihasyam means?
Parihasyam means that which we make fun of it.
Okay.
So these are all kinds of sins that were being done, and all that will be vetoed. Dasya Pati maybe, but Patita maybe, but all of them will be cancelled. In fact, in another place, I think somewhere I read that supposing you have been spending your good time in Vrata, Homa, Dhyana, Parayana, with Tirtha Yatra, or going temple, all these religious programs, but apart from all that meritorious activity, still there will be some amount of sin and karma sticking to the body. It is very hard to completely empty that. So whatever still remains, that Paramatma will cancel grace and make you eligible for moksha. That possibility also is described in our scriptures. Ayo, my time is limited, only 5 minutes prayer, I do it. If you say like that, even the 5 minutes prayer done for 100 years, for example, is really some good amount for Narayana. But that 5 minutes prayer must be regular. As far as possible, in 24 hours into 60 minutes, you can definitely grab 5 minutes anytime, anywhere. Sarvakala Sarvavasthagalali Paramatma Yava Yuddhe Irtane. There is no time because he is beyond time. Kalatitaha. So Gunatitaha, Shamatitaha. We consider Narayana is somebody to whom night and day do not affect. And the sex also, I mean, male and female, gender also does not affect. So there is a story in Bhagavatam that when Sukha Maharshi was going through places walking, there was a big lake in Himalayas, and well, there were the celestial women taking bath in that lake. And when Sukha Maharshi was passing by, he was a Duta, he is a Avadhuta, and he has no difference at all for the gender, this, that, and all that. And suddenly, I was told a story. Suddenly, all women Vivastras stood up and did namaskara, but Sukha Maharshi never got anything, but he blessed inside his mind and he passed off. And at the same time, Sukha Maharshi's father, I don't know, the Vyasa Bhagavan, happened to pass through the same, finding out in search of his son, Sukha. Then, when Vyasa Maharshi came, all the women wore dress saris and then stood up and respected. Then Vyasa got the doubt, what is this? When Sukha Maharshi, an young fellow, was going like that, all women never covered themselves, but stood up as they are taking bath in the lake. But when I come, why these two? Then he came to know that he has not the maturity in him or spiritual elevation as much as his son Sukha Maharshi have had. Anta one story baratte. And the Atitatvam is there, that we should not care for the differences existence. All the differences will disappear. Something like when you go in flight, only for some time distance the flight is taking off, you will see the land and houses, everything. But when once you go up, everything is only skies and space. So that is what is Narayana Swarupam, is being explained in our Vedas, Puranas. Therefore, nothing will have any kind of, all differences merge when you take the name of Narayana and Vaikuntha, that's what is being told. Now, 213. Natah param karma nibandha kruntanam.
Natah param karma nibandha
Kruntanam.
kruntanam. Natah param karma nibandha kruntanam.
Mumukshatam tirthapadanu kirtanatu.
Mukshutam tirtha padanu kirtanat. Mamakshutam tirtha padanu kirtanat.
Nayat punah karmasu sajjate mano.
Nayat punas karmasu sajjate mano. Nayat punas karmasu sajjate mano.
Rajastamobhyam kalilam tatonyatha.
Rajastamobhyam kalilam tathonyatha. Rajastamobhyam kalilam tathonyatha.
Mriyamano harer nama grunan.
Mriyamano harer nama gunan. Mriyamano harer nama gunan.
Putropacharitam.
Putropacharitam. Putropacharitam.
Ajamilopi anugan muktim.
Milopya.
Anugat. Agat, I'm sorry. Agat muktim.
Aghat muktim. Aghan muktim.
Yuta saddhaya grunan.
Kimuta shraddhaya gunan. Kimuta shraddhaya gunan.
Grunan.
Grunan.
So, the Bhagavatam is giving us easy pathways in spiritual road. When in spirituality, Bhagavata is giving us, especially in Kali Yugam, Namasmaranam. Okay, you see, that's why we have near Kumbhakonam, there is one ashrama of Swamiji. That Swamiji's last name itself is Namasmarana Ashramam, Namasankirtanam. And so there was one person came from the devotee of that Swamiji. And also Nama Sankirtanam happens to be the only measure, because nobody can perform Yajna Yaga Adi Kratugalu or Vratadi Homagalu, etc. every day, because people are very, very busy. And even though they are free, their mind will not turn to this. They will think of making some vacation. Now we see all people in America are planning to go away for a vacation, this, that, and all that. So I get the attendance shortage. Anyway, so because whenever there is a good time, leisure time, available time, money is there with them in their pocket because of the, so they like to take diversion and vacation enjoyment. But here, Krishna is telling, the Rishi is telling very beautifully that tamobhyang kalilam anyatha karma karmasu sajjate manaha and mumukshatam tirthapadanu kirtanat nata parang karma nibandha kruntanam. See, karma nibandha kruntanam. Karma is a rope that will be tying us out. That's why even in Rudram, Sahasra and Sahasra. So in Rudram also, there are so many bandhas for man or being born, and Rudra will try to cut them off, make you free, go to the Kailasam or the Vaikuntha Lokam. Same point in Ramayana, in this Bhagavatam. You must know that Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Bharatam, Puranas, they are all commentaries for our Veda mantras. Whatever mantras we have got in our Vedas, all those mantras have been explained through stories, through examples, through many other easier forms of understanding. And so here, mumukshatam, so those people who have the desire to go to moksham, that is, what is moksham? Not to get back the body once again. That's exactly what that Kulasekara Alvar in Mukundamala Stotram, probably must, now our Seshatalaya has put in YouTube the lecture on Mukundamala and the context. In that Mukundamala, that Kulasekara Alvar tells that, Aya, when we have body, in order to get relief for any pain or disease coming to our body, we take medicines. But you are such a great Paramatma that you don't give us body at all. When you don't give us body, then the body problems are dropped and we are happily in the moksha. So we spend a lot of time to maintain our body, to repair our body, to make the body again workable for us. Like that, Mukundamala Stotra writer tells that no janma. Here also, Mumukshatam and Tirtha Kirtanat. Tirtha Pada Anukirtana. Anukirtana means not saying one time, repeatedly we have to be saying Rama, Rama, Rama. That's what Parvati said. When Shiva said, Rama, Rama, Rameti Rame, Rame, Manorame, Sahasranama Tattva. Rama, Rama, Rama. That 3 times uttering Ramanamam is equal to 1,000 names of. So to say that Anukirtana, Anugana, Anugana. So Anukirtanat and na karma susajjate manaha. See, when once you are doing Ram, 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 so your mind will be always thinking to divert you to mundane things. But when the mind is engaged with Nama Sankirtanam or Nama Smaranam, the mind forgets that it should attract you to the mundane attractions. Therefore, when once you are attracted in the mundane, that is a tailor, a cobbler, a businessman, a shopman, all these people will work in our head when we think of Ram Nam or anything like that. So that's why, and he will be able to overcome that. And more so in 215, it has been beautifully, conclusively told by Sukha Maharshi that Harer Nama Grunan Mriyamanaha. See, Mriyamana, as he is dying, if he were to take up the name of Hari, and that's most important. That's why in Narasimha Sahasranamam and elsewhere, we make a petition, advance petition to Narasimha. Aya, al prana prayana samayam, when it comes, when my pranam were to start traveling away from my body. See, so long the pranam is in my body, I am operating and I am benefited with that. So the prana also cannot even, because of my body is a traveler's bungalow. It's a hotel room. So in that, nobody can be a permanent resident. Even in the own house also, one cannot be permanent resident. They may build the house, but they cannot. And if they, and there may be a photo of you in the house afterwards, but you cannot continuously enjoy the living. Some photo because hakuntar maneli, but we don't be there constantly in that. Therefore, Sukha Maharshi is telling Harer Nama Grunan Upacharitam Putraha. So Gruna is the singing, remembering, uttering. What is that? Gyan Mriyamanaha. That's what is called Mriya. Mriya is dying time. No, when everybody knows when he dies, how he dies, and just before the death comes up to them. So death is something, end is something to everybody. And that's why Krishna in other place tells that Adhyava Satavarshanantaram va Maranam Prapyate. The Maranam cannot have any dating with us. You cannot date with Maranam. So Maranam can occur to us now or even after 100 years and so on. But that will occur to you, but it will not date with you. That's what it said. Ajamilaha. So Upacharitam Putraha. Harer Nama Gurunan. But actually, the Hajamila's utterance was only referring to the boy Narayana by name, but the Paramatma has taken the Namasmarana as the main thing. See, Nimma Manasu one kada idru kuda, but you're uttering the name because Karma Achara. Every Vedantin tells you that Karma Achara, Kurvanneveha Karmani. That's what Upanishad tells. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells you, karma, that's what karmasu sajjito bhava. Then who is the ruler for all the karmas? Karma phaleshu dushtam durgam devim. Durga Parameswari is a one who is able to sort out. Not only Durga, is Lalita also when she is a supervisor. Punya punya vivardhini. Punya punya prada. So all that is there. That's why here, Grunan Harer Nama, Ajamida Api Ajamilopi agat mukti mandre. Even the worst fellow, though he is a Brahmin by birth, but he never was a Brahmin because of the worldly attractions and sensual overpowering. So he just gave up everything, puja, punaskaram, everything he gave up for spending a lot of time there only. That's why it is said in Satvada Brahmanam, Striya Samparishvatta Bhakyam Najanati. Anybody who embraces the pleasures of life, he will not know what is next. He will not remember the God. Samparishvattaha Bhahyam Najanati. So Bhahya Jnana is Parabrahma Jnana. So what is Brahma Jnana or what is Narayana Smriti? It's a Bhahyam. But Najanati another Mamul. Kakunda. So Janati another Devata Smarana. So Ajamidopi Anugat Muktim. Inka Kimuta Sraddhaya. It's an algebraic equation. Even the worst fellow like Ajamada got the moksham, bhukti, then what to speak of other people who spend some time upon the Narayana Smriti. So worst people also are lifted, Uddhara. That's why Atmana Atmanam Uddharet. Krishna told already, Uddharana means our Atma will be falling down repeatedly owing to the influence of the Indriyas, owing to the influence of number of other things. So drop down is easy. To get it lifted up is difficult. That's why punya means floating. Buoyancy is called punya. Papa is getting sunk in that. So water also, for example, tries to show the buoyancy power to the beings. But if they were mischievous or otherwise, they will be drowned in the water. So Paramatma is also like that, but you have to do something that would be really making happy the God. That's why Sraddhaya Grunam Kimuta Muktim. So those people who take the Narayana name, they will be definitely getting the Mukti. So in Narayaniyam, at the very first sloka, why Narayana is a Mukti Hetu or Mukti Pradaha? Because it says, in the second line, Nirmuktam Nitya Muktam Nigamashata Sahasraihi. But of course, the Narayanayam is also another version, 1,000 slokas given by of Bhagavatam, given by that great Guru Bhattatiri. So there he considered Narayana is Nirmuktaha. He is free from bondages. And that freedom from bondages is not ABC time, but Nitya Muktaha. Constantly he is not attached. So he is a supervisor. Let me say that Narayana is a supervisor. You know, a supervisor will not sit on the chair. He will be always moving and observing all people, what they are doing and trying to. So that supervisory power is Narayana. That's what we come to know also from Purusha Suktam. So Vishwato Vrutva Atyadishthat Dashangulam. He encompassed the entire universe, but still he remained a little high above so that he could be a wonderful supervisor. So I think today we have come to a wonderful stage, that conclusion in the Sukha speech, and we'll see further what happened in other episodes. So that way, Bhagavatam is a book which will talk about the mundane pleasures, mundane attractions, mundane attachments, and all that anybody born upon the earth. Because Earth is the most beautiful land of lands. No lokam is as beautiful, as differentiated as Earth. Yeah, that's why to be born upon the earth is a matter of great punyam. Mahata punya panyena kritam khalu sariram. We have deposited lot of punyam with Paramatma and borrowed our human body, that too upon the earth to be born. Mahata punya panyena. Panya is the price we have made. So all that punyam we have deposited and got this. So Bhagavatam is one book which will keep us on the track up to the goal realized. Stop not until the goal reached. That's what the slogan. Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Om Tat Satu Chapandi
Om
Sarvam
Tat Satu. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.
Sarvam Sri Matrucharanara Vindarpanamastu.
Sarvam Shri Matrucharanaravindarpanamastu.
Om Tat Satu.
Om Tat Satu.
Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Janavallabhaya
Krishnaya Gopaya Krishnaya Gopala
Govindaya
Govindaya
Gopi Janavallabhaya
Gopi Janavallabhaya
Sarvarogya Pradaya
Arogya
Sarva Arogya Pradaya
Sarva Arogya Pradaya
Sarva Shanti Pradaya
Sarvakshanti Pradaya
Sri Krishnaya Te Namaha.
Shri Krishnaya Te Namaha.